Hi there YouTube, it's Sebastian here with SD Consulting. I have an early Christmas present here. What we've got is a Lenovo Legion Y530 notebook computer. And the purpose of this computer is to replace one that got damaged by water. We had a situation where the old laptop got soaked and started kind of smoking. So the insurance company said, well, we're going to replace that laptop for you, and they reimbursed us. And so therefore we went out and purchased a newer model, and this is the one we chose. This Legion notebook, if you're not familiar with the series, is actually a really powerful machine. It allows you to pretty much do anything you'd want to do on the market. Whether you have a PC or a laptop, if you're a PC kind of person, then this is the type of laptop you'd want for, let's say, graphic work, gaming, things of that nature. It has some serious guts to it, and when I say guts, I'm referring to the processor. I actually had to print out a list of the things that it came with because there's so much of it. Realistically, what you're looking for a machine of this type would be specs along the lines of a i7 processor, which it has. It also has two internal drives, so two internal hard drives, which was really key. One is a 256 megabyte solid state drive, which I'm assuming the operating system will come installed on. And the other is a 1 terabyte drive that has 7200 RPM, which for a notebook computer is kind of uncommon from what I was reading. So with those two drives on the unit, I'm expecting it to have some serious performance. The other thing that it has that was a selling feature for me was it had 16 gigs of RAM right out of the box. There was no customizing for this machine. It was a set model number, which I will put in the video for you. Unfortunately, I've been on Lenovo's website and I can't find this exact model anymore. It was aggressively priced. It was a Black Friday special, and we're going to obviously open it now before Christmas. I was going to hold off, but it's been sitting here, and the kids are pretty excited, so I am going to open it. But it was a Black Friday sale. The price point Canadian was under $1,700, which was incredible by all comparisons. So it's got 16 gigs of RAM. The other sweet feature to this notebook computer, which I couldn't find on any other systems that were similarly priced, it has the NVIDIA 1060 graphics card at 6 gigabyte. And from everything I've read, that's a pretty solid video card, especially on a notebook computer. So our goal today is to unbox this Lenovo, take a look at it, show you, just the outsides of it, give you some port information, anything like that. It's not an in-depth technical review by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a matter of let's take a look at this thing. It's been delivered. And on the delivery side of things, I will tell you something. It seemed to have gotten lost in transit for a little while, and I made repeated calls to UPS, and they were the ones who were delivering it. And my primary concern was that it was sitting on the back of a truck for a while, bouncing from truck to truck. So I hope that it's packed really well, because I've seen these trucks in action. I've seen these guys driving around the neighborhoods, smoking speed bumps and everything else. So let's hope that everything's okay inside. I haven't opened it. This is the first. There's the seal is still there, has yet to be broken. So we're going to take a look. Hopefully everything's intact, because the last thing I want to do is have to deal with a return to Lenovo. So we're cracking the seal. We're going to open this thing up and take a look inside, and hopefully everything's good. First signs, not bad. We've got styrofoam. Fantastic. And encased in the styrofoam is the notebook itself, I assume, in this fancy bag. Let's take a look. We'll get to the rest of the stuff in a second. Alright, so here we are. I'm not quite sure if you can see it, but there it is. Now, the other key thing about this type of notebook even though it is a very extreme, powerful keyboard for what they like to say it's their gaming model, not necessarily something that I'm going to be doing on it all the time, but it is considered, I guess, their gaming model. It looks relatively business-like, which if you look at any reviews of the Legion series, you'll read that that's the case. And that's what I need it for. I need it for business and for lecturing and all that cool stuff. So I don't want it to look like, let's say, something that's Alienware, if you're familiar with that. That completely shouts gaming, and if I had to take that to a meeting, that would be embarrassing. That's my take on it. So this Lenovo product, when I looked into it, I was like, wow, you know what? This was going to work. The cover itself is kind of neat. Like, it's hard to see in the video, but it's almost like an old record. It's like vinyl. So it's kind of cool that way. We've got USB ports, one on the left side or the right side, depending on how you want to look at it. We got another one on the other side, so there's two right off the bat. On the very back there, we got some display port features, functionality. I believe the new USB Type-C, I want to say, I think. And yeah, HDMI, all the cool stuff you can expect. The other thing that's pretty neat about these notebooks, the Legions specifically, is that their cooling is quite substantial. And that would have to be for a type of notebook with the inside guts as this. So if you can take a look, the venting is pretty straightforward there. There's venting on the side. It looks pretty sharp. Other things that you can't see with this unboxing or just by looking at it is that the monitor itself, which was probably the only thing I was kind of disappointed in when I was purchasing it, the monitor itself with this this configuration is only a 60 hertz panel. And if you were gaming, it's my understanding that people are looking at the higher refresh rates, which is fine because in our case, we're not going to overly concern ourselves with the primary display because we've actually purchased an MSI 27-inch gaming monitor that we're going to use for the most part. And it has that higher refresh rate. So we're not overly concerned with it. The other thing that you might not notice right off the bat, which I had done some research on and people weren't too pleased with, was the fact that the camera is actually located at the bottom of the monitor, which is very strange. And they say the viewing angles and the recording angles aren't too great. So that's just another thing you might want to keep into consideration. The reality is the unit itself is a beast. Like the computer itself, from a guts perspective, is pretty awesome. So dollar for dollar, when I was doing the research for before Black Friday, when I had to replace the laptop that was damaged, this one screamed as being the best value for the money. The other thing that I want to talk about is the keyboard layout itself. A lot of the gaming machines come with these RGB keyboards where you can have multiple colors going on in the background, backlit. This one here, from my understanding, which people were sharing and weren't too pleased with, was the fact that it only comes with one color, which I believe is red. Again, not a big deal for someone like me because that's not what I'm about. Being backlit and having a responsive keyboard is cool. Whether or not I can change the colors is not a big deal. Again, that's for me. Also, when we're docked at home, when we're using this machine at home, we're going to have external keyboards. And I'll try and do an unboxing of the two that I purchased from Lenovo at the same time as this, so that you can kind of get an idea for it. I used to work at Lenovo. I don't know if you knew that, but I'll tell you that. I used to work at Lenovo. And one thing I can tell you is I swear by the products. These products are fantastic. And I wouldn't tell you that if I didn't believe it. And to be honest with you, I don't work there anymore, which is fine. But anytime I'm looking at a notebook, or not even PC, but a notebook specifically, I always look at Lenovo first because I know from history and from working there that they're solid. And no one can dispute that. Okay? Support is solid, drivers are solid, everything that you'd want to make this machine run properly, you'll get at Lenovo. I was looking at MSI for a while there, and I was looking at Razer as another competitor's product, but I mean, Razer, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with what would, their service look like later and down the road. So back to Lenovo, solid machine. There's no optical drive, which If you know that already, most machines don't have an optical drive, especially the fancier stuff. So that's that. That's the unit. I'm not going to boot it up yet because I'm going to have to sit down and it take time. I'm going to have to deal with the bloatware, and if you don't know what bloatware is, it's unwanted software that these manufacturers install, which I'm going to have to go through. I'm going to have to get rid of and deal with it from that standpoint. But that's fine. I'll get to it. Let's see what else comes in the box. So that was your encased notebook computer in fancy styrofoam. As expected, thank God, there is a power cord and a power adapter. Keep in mind, the power adapter is going to be rather large because of the power this type of machine is going to require. So that's that's a brick. That's fine. This is not a portable machine. Our goal is not to be running it around from place to place. It'll be mostly docked here at the house, and then if we need to take it out, we can take it out. But that's not the point of it. It's not a portable unit. I have a Lenovo laptop, a Yoga, which if anybody knows about those are pretty awesome. And that I use for business and most of my things. So that's it. Not a lot of styrofoam. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. There's no actual physical damage to it, so I'm happy from that standpoint. I'll boot it up, take a look at it, and if there's any issues with it, I will make sure I will post that when I do the actual video and upload it. Alright, so Lenovo Legion, fantastic, solid build. You can feel it. It's got some weight to it. Pretty excited to get it going and boot it up. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, let me know, and I'll make sure I get back to you in the comment feed.